Hey guys, so welcome to the High Tickets Coaching and Consultant Growth and Strategy Show. Now today I have my guest here, Mark LePage. Hey Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Extus. How are you?
I am doing awesome. So Mark, tell us, what is it that you do?
Well, I'm a transformational life coach.
Hmm.
And so what I help people with are people that want to change something in their life that they can't seem to change. They've been on, let's say, diets. They've been on all sorts of things. They tried to add walking in their life, and they just can't handle it. They revert. They last maybe 3, 4, 5 days, but they don't have the whole mindset behind it. And that's what I create for them.
Okay, so transformational life coaching, and that is so powerful as well too, because I know that in life there's always two sides to things, right? So there's the hey, here's how to do it, and you go down the techniques, routes, and these different things, but then it really doesn't work, and you really can't understand why. But then there's the actual mindset, the transformation. So tell us, what got you into transformational work?
All right. Well, great question. I kind of had to do it myself. So I was, well, I am, and I still am, but I'm part-time high school teacher.
Hmm.
But after 20 years of career in teaching, I said this might be enough. I need to find something else. And the last 5 years, what I've done to myself, it was a complete transformation. I started meditating. I started yoga about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I kept adding stuff, mindset, daily routines. What can I do? So I got myself to change over the past 5 years, and I lost the 80 pounds. I reshaped this body. My spine is straight. I also have a chiropractor. So there's a whole bunch of things I added as practices, new practices, and new ways of evaluating why I'm doing stuff. What is the outcome of what I'm actually doing, my behavior patterns. I worked out these sheets. I came up with all bunch of worksheets that helped me through the process. Now that I've done it, I said, what can I give back to the world? And that is, well, what about these worksheets? So I set up a whole program on how to change.
Hmm. Okay, good. So you ultimately experience it within your own life,
Yeah.
having to make your transition. So what do you find is the hardest part about transformation? Do you feel like transformation is something that's easy, or do you feel it's a bit challenging?
It's definitely challenging. It was challenging for me, but at one point you get into it and you enjoy it. So I'd say about 6 months to a year in, you start enjoying the process that you're seeing, the results you're seeing. I call that the compound effect, where each small thing adds up over time. But what's very difficult with change is that we've got our set behaviors, we got our subconscious running programs right in our minds. We don't even know what's going on. And even if we want to change and we think we can, and we've decided this one time, it still ends up being sabotaged by your subconscious.
Hmm. Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. I know on my own journey, it's one of the things where I'm happy I kind of got introduced to this type of work, because I know there was a time in my life where I was pretty skeptical. I'm just a really logical type of person.
Hmm.
And I know when I was going through my life, and especially when I got on my whole entrepreneurial journey, there was one, because I really thought that the way you made things happen is just through just physical hard work. You just showed up and just did what you got to do.
Yeah.
And after trying and trying and trying and going so long and doing so much and saying, why am I not getting the results? Why are things not changing? Why do I feel like it's this Groundhog's Day over and over
Yeah.
again? And it wasn't until I kind of put aside all the techniques and started moving into the actual internal, the realm of the, as you said, the subconscious, the unconscious, those different realms, and started to realize that as much of I like to feel like I have control, or we like to feel like we have control, there's very little control that we have of our lives in terms of what's not already pre-programmed in
Exactly.
there. So
Yes.
does a lot of your work have to do with the dealing with the subconscious and affecting change at that level?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'd say meditation is a big part. So, I mean, for people who might be thinking of this program, I keep meditation to a minimum, but
Hmm.
it's a very important part to reprogram that subconscious. There's stuff you can do while you're meditating that you can't do. You can't access that subconscious. Um, so the body has been programmed, and with your basic actions during a day, you're 95% of what you're doing and what you're thinking has already been programmed. So you have very little chance with that 5% mind power that you think you have to overcome your whole body and all the chemical programming that you have. So it's gotta take time, and it's gotta be small increments. But meditation is one quick way to get there.
Yeah. So I know how a lot of people have different methods of meditation. How do you recommend meditation?
Perfect. That's one of my favorite questions. Before we get into exactly what I recommend, the thing that most people say, the one thing is I don't have time, and the second one is I'm not sure how to do it. It doesn't work. Well, first thing is you got to practice to get things right, anyways. But it's the time thing is what I like to say to people is you invest time in meditation, it comes back threefold. You've got three. If you meditate 20 minutes, you'll gain an hour of productivity in your day. That's for sure. And that's for sure. I see it everywhere and I hear it all the time, and I've proven it myself. So meditation is, I would fully recommend for a beginner, a 5-minute meditation on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of things on YouTube. That's how I started 5 years ago. I had no idea what to do. I just heard that meditation might help my condition,
Hmm.
and it completely did. So I just searched anxiety or stress, 5-minute meditation, or anger, or just managing my emotions, and the list that popped out was unbelievable. And I started with a 5-minute meditation that completely calmed me down. I came out of
Hmm.
that a little different, and I chose differently after. So then you might want to add like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But I would say that the perfect amount for once you get into it and you enjoy what's happening is probably about 20 to 40 minutes in the morning, and another 20 at night before you go to bed, just to make sure you get that sleep in. And in the morning, just to make sure you get that day, you prep your mind for your day.
Hmm. Okay. So why do you feel like meditation is so powerful though? What's the what, based on your experience with it, what do you think is so powerful about it?
All right, another great question.
Hmm.
So the way I explain it to clients and the people who are taking my courses is you somehow become the observer of your actions, of your life, instead of being the participant. Like when you're the participant, you believe everything you're doing and it's good. And if you're impatient with your child, well, then the child deserved it, and it's not my fault. And you come up with all these reasons because you're the actor, and you protect your own self. You protect yourself when you're the actor because you're the person. When you're in meditation, all these issues come up. Um, but what happens is you're not that person in the action. You're like an observer of yourself going through these actions, and that's when you get these insights. You get major insights on how you behave, the impact it has on others, the impact it has on you emotionally, and that grind that you keep adding every day because you keep that behavior up. It keeps observer. You realize more about what you're doing and what you're saying, and then that's the powerful key. And if when you come out of it, you learned a lesson, and then you act on it. Hopefully you act on it. I know I did, and 5 years later I acted on a lot of stuff, and I fixed a lot of stuff in my life.
Hmm. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. And one thing you mentioned as far as you said that it's something you have to, it's an active process. Like you can't just sit back and hope that it happens if you're going to do any type of maybe meditation or something like that as well too. And
Yeah.
in essence, what I've also found, I'm not sure if you've noticed this as well, but I found that something I've always tried to do, because just like with the whole evolve, and just like with myself growing my business and always wanting to get up to the next level, next level, next level,
Mm-hmm.
I realized it, like every time I try to do it, I could never do it. Like I have to, in a sense, kind of go like meta, which is I got to start from a different point of a different vantage point. And just like you were using examples of where you're going through your life and you get angry at your kids, you're doing this thing and you're doing this thing, and you're like the actor, like in real life, defending everything that's happening. Why it's this versus the
Mm-hmm.
next level, which is being an observer of who you are, your emotions, how you feel, what's happening, and then being able to take a different path or go a different route. I think that's so powerful because I know for myself, when I first got started my journey, I was a person who just lived in the moment, just do, and whatever came up, it just came up and just going.
Yeah.
Versus,
Yeah.
I found that I could never make any progress that way. However, when I changed, I switched to saying, okay, you know what? Let me put this hair aside. Let me go internally. Let me go in and see things a little bit differently than they currently are. See myself acting differently.
Mhm.
That's when all of a sudden I showed up in the world different, and it was like, whoa, what just
Yeah.
happened? It's like almost like this
Cool.
little superpower.
Yeah.
So what caused like what really drove that fascination for you? Because when I realized once you get that bug as far as figuring out that that's where the progress, that's where it change, that's where everything happens, you just kind of get just caught up in just saying, I want to just go down this path as deep as I
Mhm.
can.
Yeah.
So was there a trigger moment that got you to saying, you know what, that after this, this is what I'm going to do and this is going to be my path? Was that ever that case for you?
Yes, absolutely. It became the case. So in most of my meditations, I was, I wasn't sure anymore why I became who I was as a
Mm-hmm.
high school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And that set me on a path. And I saw an ad one day on entrepreneurship and how to build your website and how to start a business, an affiliate business at that time. And I really got into that. And I'm saying, this is the key to get out. But at one point, the affiliate business for me wasn't exactly what I needed. I had something else, another magic. I had some other stuff I needed to give back to the universe and to the world. And it just flowed from one thing to another. By in 2 years, I'd become a life coach. It's
Mm-hmm.
very important to not expect results instantly. It's a process of growth, because you realize new stuff every time, and every time you take new actions, you get new reactions, or you get new impact. And then that feels good. So well, what if I do this, and what if I do this? And at the end of the day, I mean, you can have major change in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so powerful, so powerful. And with life coaching, what got you to take the path of say go again because you're certified, right? Yeah,
Yep,
what made
yep.
you want to get certified?
Well, I wasn't teaching, right? So I had that way of mentoring students.
Mm-hmm.
I was less of a teacher and more of a mentor. I had a lot of like projects and stuff, so I helped a lot of students develop their self-confidence and a couple of little things they could use for mindset. I actually taught meditation to some students and how to do it. So
Yeah.
that was already something I like to do. I like to help people in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also a union leader. I was union president for 6 years, and helping members and going through difficult situations as teachers or in their own life. So that really got me into that mindset of helping people. But the big thing is what am I good at? What have I accomplished? What have I done in my life? And it was that change process. It's major. People don't recognize me on the streets. They really don't. If I haven't seen this person in 2 to 3 years, they don't know who I am. I had one guy ask me what my name was, and I said, "You already know me. I saw you 2 years ago." And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"That's you?" I'm like, "That is me." So I guess the fact that I did it, I know how to do it, and I can give back that process to some people. So I mainstream my 5 year process. I actually have many different programs you can get into. You can get into a one-on-one. You can get into a 36-day behavior change. Get one or two behavior changes in a month, 36 days. You can get in on an 8-week, a little bit more intense course, workshops that I call them. And I have this, I don't want, I must be honest, no one's in here yet because I'm still new enough to the game. I have a 90-week mentor program, which is about 2 years. And I figure you can do what I've done in 5 years in 2 years with the right core. See, I had to learn all my stuff here and there. And
Mm-hmm.
I think you can take all of that and focus it into a 2 year program or mentorship that could really change lives. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. And what's your vision for what you're doing here? What do you see as far as what you want to accomplish with what you're doing?
Well, I keep wanting to helping people, but right now we're going instead of one-on-one or like in person. Well, that's what happened, right? So back in March, the in-person thing, just my workshops just completely disappeared from the earth. And I decided, what could I do online? How can I build an online course that could
Mm-hmm.
be sold online, automated online, and paid for online, and take me out of the equation, except for maybe some help, or maybe, well, actually in this program, every Tuesday night, every second Tuesday night, I go live for Q&A. Anything that my clients needs, anything that is asked from the program that they're not sure how to do, how to tackle this this exercise or this worksheet. And so that's what I created in the last month. So I'm really glad that you're doing this show, because it's kind of a launch. I did have
Mm-hmm.
my first. I did launch this 12 days ago, and I had my first live recordings.
Yeah.
So everyone went live. We every day people showed up and they were doing the exercises. And right now they're on day 14 of their 36-day cycle on how to change and use the exercises to get going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about in terms of your journey in entrepreneurship? How have you found that? Has it been pretty exciting?
Very, very exciting. It changes lives. It
Mm-hmm.
clearly changes lives. And then what I wanted was from leave the 9 to 5, and to produce something that I know I can do, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe have freedom, time freedom, and situation, not situation, but where I'm from, freedom. So I can work from anywhere in the world, keynote speeches and stuff, being invited, and really get this ball rolling with all my experience. It's exciting because it uses my talents, it uses what I'm good at, and for something that I want to do, instead of
Mm-hmm.
grinding. Right? I think grinding stuff that you're not necessarily liking or loving, or there's no passion in it. So
Yeah.
I love to create passion
Yeah,
in
that's so
people.
powerful. Yeah, because I believe that in today's day and age, so many people are going to either a job they don't like, doing a whole bunch of stuff they're not passionate about. And
Yeah.
yesterday, because with this show here, I recently started it about maybe a week ago, and I was brainstorming a few ideas with a few of the guests who showed up. And one of the things, the key words that came up for me is passion and purpose. Because
Hmm.
I believe that in life, we go through these different phases in life. We just go through, hey, what's in it for me? We just come from that frame of mind. But then eventually, as we get older, as we progress more in our journey, we get into, okay, there has to be some type of purpose. I have to, be, in some type of way, contribute to the greater good. And it definitely
Absolutely.
seems like, yeah, what you've kind of got going on with
Yeah.
your, with basically the transformation that you help people with,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And I
yeah.
mean, if I'm going to get in, I'd just like to get in a little bit more about this 36-day program that I created. And there's 3 phases, there's 3 levels,
Hmm.
because it's still a 36-day. I'm not going to change your whole life, but I am going to change some of your patterns and some of your behaviors. So it's the 3 P's are peace. I want to bring peace, calm your mind, and be able to adapt to the situation. And my focus in this program right now is the times we're living in right now, the pandemic. We all know about it. You're stuck at home. You want to change. You want to come out of this better when it's over. But how are you going to do that? You need a plan, and you need an action plan. So we're going to need to bring peace to your mind. And then we're going to show you how to progress, how to become that person you may want to be, and then prosperity, how to maintain that, how to keep going. So we're going to build your mindset, give you abilities. We're going to give you a sense of how to adapt, calm the mind, adapt. Then we're going to go with abilities, how to change, what is the change process, and then prosperity and abundance, how to maintain that, and attract the stuff to your life that you want, and you can. If you take the right actions consistently, you will attract what you need in your life. And I see that from your face, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's what it takes. You got to take action. Without action, nothing happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, love it, love it. So, in essence, so I think, let me see, with transformation, right? It's one of those things where it's just across the board. I think, like in every field, doesn't matter what, whether in sports, business, entrepreneurship, it's that core piece. So, if I would ask you the question, a question I love asking most of the guests who show up. what do you believe is the one thing that the one skill? I know there's most likely been a lot of other ones, and you can't say what do you call it? You can't say in meditation. You gotta say something different. But what would you say is that one skill that you've mastered that you think has gotten you to where you are today, just based on
Okay.
all of your past experiences?
It's it's not a specific skill. What's coming right now as an answer is the
Hmm.
combination of things you can do, these services you can access, the help you can get, especially online right now, and you can learn anything you want.
Hmm.
It's the how, and it's so what I'm offering is how to change that mind and how to activate and how to get it, because it's available, but people still aren't doing it. But so for me, other than meditation, is it's at one point you realize the impact of your actions, and you what I realize is what you put out is what you get back. So if you change just being just being nice to people, people start being nice to you. So it's the knowledge that you affect things around you, and it comes back to affect you. And when you understand that, your actions become way more important. And
Hmm.
I think that's what I realized.
Yeah, awesome. So in essence, as far as knowing that, hey, you affect things, like things don't just happen, but there's some type of cause effect type relationship.
Hmm.
And if you could see how what you do or how you are, how you show up affects things, then if you go to work on, in a sense, changing who you are, then the things you do, you in a sense see change. Does that
Hmm.
sound about right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
love it, love
Yeah.
it. So if someone were to want more information as far as what would be the best way to reach out to you?
All right. Best way right now is my website, marclepage.com. So MARC hyphen Lepage, LEPAGE.com. The website is major. It's been created. I've been working 2 years on that. That was one thing that kept me going. And for information on this specific course, you'll find a tab in the menu that is Finding Freedom Online Course. This is the online course. But also, I mean, there's probably 10 tabs. You can, like, who am I, contact me, about me, my payment plans, what I can do for you, my services. You can get all of that in there. And if you're interested in this course, there's a big write-up on it, a description of what's going on in that course on that tab, Finding the Freedom Online Course. And the workshops that have been canceled, live workshops, are now being, I'm producing them, I'm pre-recording them to hand them out. But there's also the free first masterclass. So week one is free and optional.
Hmm.
And that's when you get to decide if you would like to follow the course, but it's not live right now. But all the information is on that website. And if ever you need to register, it's so brand new that I don't have landing pages yet. I don't have ways for you to subscribe instantly and pay instantly. So the best way, if you're interested in this, is to contact me through my contact form. My email is on my website. And I will, once, if you're interested, I'll send you an invoice by PayPal. Once you pay that, I'll grant access to the Facebook private group that contains the whole course. I used Facebook Education, I believe, and modules are there, the live recordings are there, the slideshows are there. Everything is active links. You can, on any slideshow, you click on the link, it brings you to the document. It's fully automated, fully accessible, and every document is in each module. It's pretty a self-guided course right now, and that's the way I wanted it. And the results right now, people are changing. People are really changing. So
Hmm.
that's the way to get to me right now.
Awesome. Love it, Mark. Well, hey, appreciate you being here. One final question before we end. Um, so I guess do you have any final thoughts for the viewers?
Well, my final thoughts for viewers is change is possible. Change is not easy. It's not something that you know how to do. I realize that we think we know how to change. Just do it. Just change. And it's not that simple at all. Your mind has to be reprogrammed somehow. And it could be small steps, big steps, but you need a lot of awareness of what you're doing, the impacts you're having. And once you gain your awareness, you can't lose your awareness of what is happening. And that's the key. Once you're aware, you can change. And so the process is not, it's simple, but it's not easy. And with the right guide, with the right tools, so this course has over 20 tools, 20 worksheets and exercises that bring you to that place where you can access the change, because you're not only dealing with the 5% of your mind, you're dealing with your whole body and your whole subconscious and the unconscious. And it's a fast way to access change that you couldn't do before.
Hmm. Love it, love it. Well, Mark, hey man, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you making that time.
Cool.
I guess we'll be in touch. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you very
Awesome.
much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, enjoy. We'll talk soon.
Cool.